Well, good morning from Jungle Camp. I arrived here last night at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere in that window. I wanted to arrive early enough to lay out some clothing. It's just been getting damp for days as I ride through deluges one after another, typically in the afternoon, sometimes in the morning. Unavoidable that the clothes eventually feel damp, and my shoes have been wet for days, of course. So I scavenged some wood from the ground, this long branch in particular. That was an excellent clothesline. I also improvised a kickstand for the bike because, of course, the bike doesn't have one. I prefer to put the pedal on a rock or a log. In this case, I had to use this pile of sand and gravel. Not ideal, but it worked. Believe it or not, that bike didn't move all night. And I packed it this morning and it still stayed put, moved around a little bit, but didn't give me any trouble otherwise. It helps that I put a strap between the front tire and the frame, that red strap you can see in the background, I hope. In the absence of that, you'd be going crazy trying to pack the bike under any circumstances. About 15 minutes before I arrived here, I saw my first lowland gorilla, a female. She was looking down at me from a tree not far from the road where I was perched in the opposite lane, just looking up at her. And then she climbed down, eventually dropped into the understory, which is quite dense. Once a critter gets into that understory, which you can see behind me, that understory below the big trees and all around this open space, you're not going to see many critters in there unless they're directly in front of you. That is, within a few inches. You could imagine my glee when I arrived to a right turn marked by Overlander last night. It's in fact right there, the exit that is into this space. The entrance is only 100 feet or so, and then you hit the road just beyond what you can hopefully see there. The road coming in is very concealed, which is perfect for wild camping. My glee was exceptional when I rolled into this space and realized that I had a camping opportunity that would service me quite well. I was alone here last night in the darkness. The stars above were amazing. Once again, Orion was waiting for me when the sun set to then begin its migration across the sky, which I witnessed again and again from my wilderness camps and also camping opportunities at other spaces. But the wilderness camps, those are always very dark, and so I get a chance to see that night sky, including Orion. Today it's still early. I extracted myself from the tent at about 5:30. Now it's just about 7. I'm hoping to see elephants on the road. Yesterday I saw quite a lot of elephant dung, and I smelled fresher dung just coming from the forest. And I saw many tunnels that were almost certainly produced by elephants marching through this understory to get to the road and then across to the other side. My conclusion is there are a lot of elephants in this forest elephants, of course, and I hope to see one on the road today, so I'm starting early. Also, chimps. I have not seen them in the wild in my life, and they're abundant here, is my understanding, and lowland gorillas, and I've only seen one of those. Yesterday, I also saw many smaller monkeys. I don't know what kind they are, but they're thrashing about in the trees, and because I'm on a bicycle, I can hear them, and I pause, and I've gotten some pretty good looks at those little critters. Later today, and perhaps in the early afternoon, I will reach the equator at a town that I've been calling Makoua, Makoua, but probably should be pronounced closer to Macau. I've decided to pause there, a celebration of reaching the equator. I departed in July from North Cape, about 76 degrees north latitude, so I've come a long way to reach that equator. It's a big moment in the journey, so I'm going to pause there to celebrate, I think, 2 nights. I'll also do some video editing and maybe even publish a video before I depart on my way to oil, and then more beyond that. Well, that's it from Jungle Camp. I'm going to get on down the road and hopefully see some forest elephants.